every single one of y'all. Let's get it. What are you guys grateful for? What are you guys grateful for? It is Wednesday, middle of the week. We are Work Harder Wednesdays, guys. Hopefully you guys are working harder a lot more than usual on every single day. But honestly, guys, without further ado, I'm really here to drop some value. Understand that these calls are fairly important, right? It's always good to grind, but at the end of the day, are you feeding your mind, right? Are you feeding yourself the proper materials to not only hit the ranks you want to hit, or not only hit the financial levels that you look to hit, but to really, we're here to keep it, right? We're here to keep it. My mentor, Robert Kiyosaki, said that wealth isn't determined by how much you make, not by how much you make, but how much you keep, right? So same goes for wealth and knowledge, right? It's not how much you know, it's how much you can give, right? So really, I'm here to show you guys, how we can deal with ourselves, right? So I know, a lot of the times, our main number one problem isn't the people in our business, isn't the obstacles that we come across in our business, it's not the losses that we take, right? Because you got to understand is like, we got to take L's to grow, right? We got to take L's to grow. Drop a 555. You agree with that, right? Drop a 555. You agree that we got to take some L's to grow, right? Especially in what we got to do, right? If you guys want to hit chairman, you got to expect some L's. If you guys want to hit that 6-7 figure account, you got to expect some L's, right? How do you expect to be a doctor without first losing some money in the bank account to pay that tuition, right? So everything in life, you gotta exchange something, right? People might think of L's as losses, and I'm not gonna say lessons. You gotta think of L's, right, and obstacles as an exchange, right? We're here talking about and teaching people, about the foreign exchange market and whatnot, but you gotta understand, you gotta exchange something for success. That's something that, I personally learned today, right? If you want to succeed in any aspect of your life, you got to be willing to sacrifice and exchange something that you personally have, right? So now the topic of tonight is, negative thinking, right? And negative thoughts, right? So honestly, if you haven't had one single negative thought today or within the past week, you are not human, right? You're just not human, right? Or you're not growing, right? If you haven't thought to yourself like, oh man, what if I can't get a single sign up, right? What if I don't smash P150? What if I don't smash P600? What if I never get this 4-figure account, right? Because I just keep losing, right? What if? So now, guys, like drop down like a 333. If you guys have ever asked yourself, what if, right? What if this? What if that? Right? I'm sure you have, because if you haven't, you're just lying, right? So I'm here to really tap into more how we can deal with negative thinking and negative thoughts. But at the same time, at the end of the day, understand that it's not necessarily the thoughts, it's you, right? You got to learn how to deal with yourself, right? So I'm here to really show you guys how we can shift our mindset into really overcoming ourselves and getting over ourselves, so that way we can move on, right? So I'm going to go ahead and drop 4 main keys on how we can necessarily, recognize negative thinking and how to really stop and overcome our own personal negative thoughts, right? So key number 1 is recognize and step back from negative thought patterns, right? So a lot of the times when people see obstacles right outside of them, when you're driving the highway, right, and someone honks at you, right, when someone bumps across you in the street, right, or when you're facing a huge problem within your business, someone's bothering you or harassing you or whatnot, sometimes we think that's the main source of the problem. Sometimes we look at an obstacle and we magnify it, right? So first things first, you got to realize and you got to think about the law of magnification, right? We as humans and individuals, we choose what we want to magnify, right? We choose what we want to magnify, and what we become, what we magnify during the day is what our reality is going to be during that day, right? So whatever circumstance you come across during the day, and then you decide to magnify that one moment is officially your reality for that day, right? So, I know it doesn't make sense to some of you guys, but think about it, right? So say, for example, you're having a blessed day, right? You wake up, you're grateful, you have an amazing breakfast, right? Business going fine. You just won a couple of trades. Boom, that's phenomenal, right? 12 o'clock hits, 12 in the afternoon hits, right? That's when your grinding session starts, right? And all of a sudden, all you get for that day are a bunch of no, and no's, right? And then all of a sudden, you're like, man, like I can't get a single person to, talk to me on the phone. 3 people just dropped from my business. All of a sudden, it took an L on my account, right? That's when you start thinking more about those circumstances, right? When you're thinking more about the problems, guess what happens? What you think actually becomes a reality, right? What you think actually becomes a reality. So that's all you're thinking about are the losses that you took for that day, right? So you can't, us as human beings, we're not necessarily trained on how to overcome those losses. So that's all we constantly think about, right? We think about the 10 people that left in our business. We think about the $200 that we just lost in that one trade. We think about the person that just, bumped us across the street, right? We start thinking about that and we get so angry about that one moment, right? So that way, when you're talking to your parents, when you're talking to your friends, that's all you talk about for that day. They ask, yo, how was your day? Oh man, yo, this happened to me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't believe it. That's all you talk about for 2 hours, right? So then if that's all you talked about when the person asked you how your day was, guess what? That one moment was your entire day, right? We make that one moment our entire day, right? Has that ever happened to you, right? When something terrible happened in a span of 1 hour, and that 1 hour of horrible moments became your entire day, right? When someone asks you how your day was, that 1 hour within the day was just your entire day. That was like your highlight of the day, right? Because in that moment, we chose to magnify that moment, right? Same goes for attitudes, right? Same goes for attitudes. You ever wonder how like little kids, right? When they want something, they throw a tantrum, right? So like adults do the same thing that kids do, right? Say for example, your girl wants attention or something, right? So she decides to throw an attitude, right? Or your boyfriend, like he wants your attention, right? And so he decides to throw an attitude, right? And so they start throwing an attitude, right? And they think to themselves, the bigger attitude that I give, the more negative thoughts I'll give to this, maybe they'll give me attention, right? Maybe they'll give me attention. So a lot of times adults, they throw this fit, right? They throw this this huge attitude, and then they think to themselves, maybe if I cause a big enough scene, maybe if I cause a big enough attitude, maybe they'll give me attention, and then I'll get what I want, right? And then I'll get what I want, right? And then those same people won't believe in the law of attraction, right? Those same people will say law of attraction is fake. Whatever you think about doesn't become real. But why is it those same people, they're literally using the law of attraction to their own advantage, right? Without even knowing it, right? Without even knowing it. Even kids are using the law of attraction to their own advantage, right? If I think about something that I really, really want to happen, right? Like, oh man, if I constantly beg for me to win this lottery, it might happen. If I constantly beg for me to win that car, it might happen. If I constantly, keep praying for me to win that $1 million, it might happen, right? So people are constantly putting their thoughts, right, and actions into whatever they want, but those same people are necessarily using the law of attraction in the wrong way, if that makes sense. And they'll say the law of attraction doesn't necessarily exist, right? So a lot of the times, right, and that goes back to, negative thought patterns, you have to realize and recognize when you're actually thinking in those negative thought patterns, right? When a situation comes and then you react to it a certain way, you got to catch yourself, right? You got to catch yourself. When someone says something and you think you're doing it right, but they say, hey, you're doing it wrong, you got to catch yourself when you feel some type of way, right? So can you imagine being in industry, right? This industry for maybe 2 whole years, and then somebody you totally met, right? Someone you never met comes to you and says, hey, maybe you should do this instead, right? So as a person doing something for 2 whole years, how are you going to feel, right? You're going to be like, oh man, bro, I've been doing this for 2 years. I know what I'm doing. I know what you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Who are you, right? So understand those are negative thought patterns, right? You're using who you were back then to who you are right now, but understand, and I'll say this all the time, what you went through back then is not what you're going through right now. And what you did back then is not going to help you right now. This is the present moment. What you do right now is what's going to help you later on today, right? So recognize those negative thought patterns. Key number 2 is you have to come to your senses, right? You just have to absolutely come to your senses. Now, this is a pretty hard key to actually master, come to your senses, because most of the time, right, we allow our emotions and our old habits, our old thought habits to take over who we are right now, right? So has there ever been a moment where, your day has just been horrible and you know you're just you're already in a bad mood, right? You just don't want to hear it, and then all of a sudden your friend, he's in a good mood, he comes out of nowhere, he says, "Yo, man, what's going on? How you been?" And then you go like, "Yo, screw you, bro." And then all of a sudden he was like, "Yo, damn, what I do?" Right? What I do, and then now you're just hurting that person, and they literally didn't do anything to you, but you just went off of them, right? Because you're already in that negative emotional state, right? So now in that moment when you're hyped up in emotion, it's really really hard to come to your senses, right? For the couples out there, right? Or you know, for people who have parents and witness your parents arguing, right? So you know, typically when a couple argues, they're already hyped up in emotion, right? One's pissed, one's super pissed. Now they're just yapping at each other, right? How do you expect them to come to your senses when they're hyped up on your emotions, right? Now, when people are typically hyped up on their emotions, they'll start saying things they don't mean. They'll start doing things they didn't mean, right? They'll start looking for everything that's negative and then, you know, just lashing it on you guys, right? So has there ever been a time, right? Has there ever been a time, you know, drop an 888 if this happened to you. Has there ever been a time where you were just so hyped up in emotions that you've said something you didn't mean, or you did stuff you didn't mean, right? Drop an 888 if that ever happened to you, right? You just didn't want to hear from everybody. Your whole world is crashing, and then you said stuff to other people that you absolutely didn't mean, right? And you did stuff that you absolutely didn't mean, and you ended up hurting people that you essentially love, right? Has that ever happened to you? Bet. Right? So obviously, you know, now I know we're all human, right? Because if that has never happened to you, you just haven't experienced life yet, right? So coming to your senses can actually help out, right? And that's the same thing as coming back home. When I say home, when I say coming back home, I don't necessarily mean the physical home that I'm in right now. I'm talking about the home right here, right? Now, a lot of the times that I see you guys grinding every single day, I'm super proud, right? I look up to you guys, right? You guys are on your grind 24/7, right? But understand that, you know, when we're on our grind, our energy and emotion, our energy and attention goes to social media, goes to prospecting, goes to the charts, goes to talking to people, right? Now, where is the time in the day where you essentially go back to yourself, right? When do you go back home to actually clean what's cluttered in here? Now, a lot of the times, people don't necessarily clean their rooms, right? Understand, this is the top room. This is your penthouse right here. This is your mansion, right? This is your private jet. But a lot of the times, people don't necessarily come back home to clean what's in here because all their attention's outside. Nothing comes back here, right? So coming to your senses essentially cleans your room. That way you have space to actually think. That way you can have the ability to push emotion aside and think logically instead of emotionally, right? So that way you can say the right things, think straight, have a normal conversation, right? And now, you know, now you can actually plan things out and move forward from there, right? Now, key number 3, that was key number 2, coming to your senses. Key number 3 is regular mindfulness practice, right? So how many of you meditate? Type in meditate if you guys meditate, right? How many of you actually meditate? It's okay if you don't. It's okay if you think it's corny, if you think you don't understand it yet. How many of you guys actually meditate, right? So understand that the average millionaire and successful people actually meditate, right? So why is it that the 5% are doing things that 95% aren't doing, right? 95% of the people, they don't meditate, right? Because, you know, where do you find time to meditate, right? People are clocking in and out of jobs, right? Then after work, they go to the bar, right? Or go back home, watch Netflix, right? Go party, go have a good time because they most of the time people hate their jobs. They're tired of work. They don't want to hear it, right? So after that, they clock into work early in the morning. They wake up, brush their teeth, clock into work very hard during the day. After that, clock back out, go have a party, go to their friend's house or something, and then they go to bed, right? And then the same routine happens 24/7. They're stuck in a cycle. They're stuck in insanity, right? Where do they find time to meditate, right? So understand, guys, that if you do regular mindfulness practice, right, actually giving time to yourself, right? And actually, I learned this from my mentors. Shout out to Define and Wisdom, right? They taught me about savers back when I flew out to Florida for the first time to meet them, right? They told me about savers, right? So for those who don't know what savers means, right, we're going to go ahead and write it down. SAVERS, right? Maybe Glashel can help me out and type it down in the chat. We're going to start with S, right? S stands for silence. right? S stands for silence. That means in the morning, this is good for a morning routine, right? So when you wake up in the morning, understand that you need silence, right? So now most of the times people, reach for their phones, right? Right? They reach for their phones, they check social media, they check Instagram. First thing in the morning, they sit in bed for a while, scroll through Instagram, right? That's what most people do, right? But if you want to have regular mindfulness practice, you need silence. You need to, yeah, sure, shut your alarm off, but don't touch your phone for a good 1 hour, 2 hours, right? You need to give that time to yourself, right? To actually think, to actually mentally plan out your day, to actually say your gratitude, say you love yourself, say your affirmations, right? Use that for silence, right? That's the S. Now, A is affirmations, like I said, right? What are you? Who are you? I am, right? Let's do some affirmations right now, guys. Let's do some affirmations. I am powerful. I am wealthy. Let's get it. Let's see the affirmations. What are you guys? Understand that I am is the two most powerful words in the world, right? Two most powerful words in the world. Let's get it. Let's see them affirmations. Let's go. I am limitless. I am limitless. I am successful. I am wealthy. Let's go, Nando. Shout out to you. I'm a courageous leader. Let's get it, right? So understand that in the morning, when you have the silence, you have to say your affirmations, right? Now, next, V is visualization, right? So understand, Bob Proctor says all the time, you have to visualize and see where you're going to be within, X amount of time, right? You got to visualize yourself on that stage. You got to visualize yourself in that private jet, in your mansion, in your dream house, with with a 7-figure bank account, right? You got to visualize yourself and see these things, right? We got to visualize these, right? First thing in the morning. Next is E, exercise, right? Exercise is super, super key, guys. Super, super key, right? That could be like a 30-minute walk in the park, right? That could be, just a regular jog, right? Workout in the morning. Reason why is because the first thing to wake up in the morning is your mind. The second should be your body. But if your body doesn't immediately follow your mind, then you're just going to be slouchy the rest of the day. Why do you think people, they slouch when they sit down? They feel lazy. They feel drowsy. Understand that how you launch your morning is how your day is going to go, right? One of my mentors, Kim Torres, says that, right? You need a strong morning routine, especially if you want to succeed as a trader, right? Especially if you want to succeed as a trader, right? Now, next is, where am I? R is read, right? You obviously have to read, train your mind first thing in the morning. When your mind wakes up, right, you have to exercise your mind just like how you exercise your body. Reading is just an exercise for your mind, right? Is an exercise for your mind. And S is silence, affirmations. Michelle, help me out. I forgot what S said. Yeah, scribe. There you go. Writing, right? Obviously, take some notes on what you read. That way, you always have nuggets on deck no matter what, right? The worst thing a leader could do is stop growing, right? Because if you personally stop growing, your business will stop growing. If you stop growing your mindset, your whole team will stop growing. Understand that, right? So key number 3 is regular mindfulness practice. And key number 4 is helpful questions for unhelpful thoughts, right? Helpful questions for unhelpful thoughts, right? So I know a lot of people, obviously you talk to yourself. I talk to myself on a daily basis. If you don't talk to yourself, I don't believe you're human, right? You gotta talk to yourself. People might think you're crazy if you're talking to yourself, but talking to yourself is actually really, really good, right? To an extent, right? Obviously, if you're talking to your other self, you might have to be, prescribed to, schizophrenia or something, or bipolar disorder. But you gotta talk to yourself, right? So ask helpful questions for unhelpful thoughts. Ask yourself, why am I thinking like this? Right? Why am I acting like this? Why are these negative thoughts always coming? Why is this always happening to me? Why does this situation keep happening to me? When you keep asking yourself questions, then you're going to give yourself answers, right? Most people, they try to look for solutions outside of them, right? They try to look for solutions outside of their body, but understand that you are the solution, right? Most of the time, you are the solution. It's just that people don't try hard enough to ask themselves the questions, right? A lot of the times, the answer is found within you. You just have to ask yourself the right questions, guys. So that's 4 main keys, especially when overcoming negative thoughts, right? Key number 1 is recognize and step back from negative thought patterns, right? Key number 2 is come to your senses, right? Always come to your senses. Clean up what's in here. And number 3, regular mindfulness practice, guys. You got to meditate. You got to do your savers, right? Savers, the savers notes are down in the chat if you guys missed it. And key number 4 is helpful questions for unhelpful thoughts. right? But one person that I actually personally wanted to bring up, she's personally been helping me on, really controlling my negative thought patterns. Although I do admit, right, that, no matter how much personal development you do, no matter how much, how strong you think your mental state of mind is, negative thought patterns will always come. It's just that I've personally come to a point where I can, to an extent, deal with it myself, but obviously venting out to someone is obviously good too. And this person has obviously been helping me through the tough times and help me, deal with my negative thoughts. So guys, please drop some 888s for Lady Boss Glishelle. Let's get it, guys.
Sheesh, guys. If he dropped some value and if you got some value on that, drop some 777s for this guy right here. He's literally has been helping me a lot. If you guys don't know, he is personally developed even before he came into IM, even before he came into the business. 2 years beforehand, he has been personally developed. So honestly, guys, when it comes to negative thinking, he has pushed that aside and literally he knows how to handle his emotions. Keywords, emotions. So negative thinking really comes from your emotions. When you begin to make small changes back to thought, a thought should lead to a new choice. A new choice should lead to a new behavior. A new behavior should create a new experience, and a new experience should create a new emotion. Sheesh. That was a lot, guys. I'm going to say that one more time so you guys could really hear it. When you begin to make small changes back to a thought should lead to new choices. A new choice should lead to a new behavior. A new behavior should create a new experience. A new experience should create new emotions. Now, that new emotion should create a new thought, and that's called evolution. So once that emotion creates a new thought in your head, a different paradigm is going to start shifting in your mind. So that's when your habitual behaviors starts to really shift as you really go around about your day. So how you think and feel really creates the state of being. How you think and feel really create the state of being. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So as we create our habitual behaviors in our mind, as we go through the day, guys, give me 1 second. Johnny, can you just speak for a few minutes? I'm gonna just get some water real quick.
Yeah, so really to just piggyback off of what she was necessarily saying, I don't know what notes she got, but, in regards to emotion, understand that, energy and emotions are just energy in motion, right? So understand that, we are emotional beings, right? So once we get the acceptance that, we utilize emotions, in a way how, most of the times our emotions will take place of our actions, our emotions will decide our decisions, right? So this kind of makes sense when you think of like an ice cream per se, right? If you're craving like, a dessert or whatnot, if you're craving like some sweets, right? You start thinking that sweets, but necessarily it's a desire, right? A desire is a type of emotion that does derive from an emotional state. And so what do? We get that ice cream, we eat that ice cream. Next thing you know, we regret it because then we feel like crap right afterwards. But I see Glishelle is back, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to her. Hopefully.
Thank you so much. Guys, sorry, my throat is a little dry, but let's get to it. So when you place your attention, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Guys, keyword is attention and energy. Where you place your attention, where you really acknowledge what you're doing, aka when you're focused on something. Focus is literally focus on one course until successful. That's literally when your emotions start to shift. That's when different thoughts in your mind don't shift away because you're literally focused on one positive thing. So when you really decide to be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memory in the past, the hardest part about it is making it conscious and not making the subconscious choice. So what that really means is when you're really focused on one idea, these negative thoughts in your head, those negative doubts, don't really pop up because you're focused on one path. You're focused on one trail. So once that happens, nothing really comes in your head because you're really focused. You're laser focused on whatever you're doing at that time. You're not thinking of anything else. What we always say is your energy has to really, you really have to be defined by a vision of your future. So what that really means is whatever is going on right now, when we always say you have to manifest everything that's happening right now. You have to visualize everything that's gonna be with your success. So whenever something comes up in your head, fear, doubt, all that kind of stuff, that negative thought, it's because you're thinking to yourself that it's not gonna happen. You're thinking of the what ifs instead of all wells. Something I've heard that one person really told me is, I'd rather live life with my all wells instead of my what ifs. Really live life of my all wells, meaning, oh wells, I did this. Oh wells, I really busted my butt trying to talk to this guy. I really worked hard in order for me to really get to where I'm going. Oh wells, I failed, but oh wells, that failure, that lesson, that L that I took is a one step closer to my success. Because if you think of your what ifs, negative thoughts start to pop in your head. What if I did this? And it's gonna start to really go to more negative thinking, more doubt, more fear. So when those negative thought come in your head, that's when everything starts going downhill for you. AKA you're thinking this business doesn't work for you. AKA you're gonna give up. AKA no one's here to really help you out because your past or whatever is happening right now is really creating that thought in your mind. And that thought in your mind is really something that you're focused in. So you're putting all your emotion and your energy into it. So you're putting all your attention into that emotion, into that negative emotion. So what you have to do to really shift the negative thought, that worry, that doubt, that fear, that frustration, is you have to trade that negative emotion to positive and elevated emotion. So that fear, frustration, hatred, worry, you have to shift that into gratitude, appreciation, thankfulness. That is why every single day you have to start off with affirmations. Every single day in Mornings with Neno, he starts off with affirmations. He doesn't have a negative thought in mind because he's so blessed every single day to wake up. So what I do is every single time that something negative happens, obviously we're all human. Obviously something negative is always going to happen to us. So whenever a negative thought pops in my head, what I always say is, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you being thankfulness brings you up to a higher elevation, that higher frequency, instead of that negative emotion, that negative thought. When something pops up in your head, oh, snap, I lost this trade. It's okay. Because thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't change the past, but you can change what's happening right now, and you can change what's happening in the future. So that's why I always said you have to let go of what's happening in the past. And one thing I did, I told Michaela to do when she was having these negative thoughts was really, yo girl, vent out to me for 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, once the alarm rings, you can't change the past. So whatever is happening right now, just be grateful for it. Be grateful and blessed that you're still here. And just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to your higher being, to God, the universe, or anything, because you're still doing whatever you're doing. So whatever's happening on your lower frequency, on that negative thought of yours, you're shifting your attention. So your attention is now different. Your energy is now higher. So can you guys feel my energy through the screen? Drop a 666 if you guys feel my energy through the screen, because I honestly think that whatever's happening right now is, obviously I have a headache, but that's not causing me to really just give that vibe off of you. I'm here every single time in this call to really give you guys a positive energy, no matter what is going on in my private life. So I honestly, this is where I love when we do these calls, because I'm appreciative. I'm so thankful that every single day that I'm part of the family. I'm so thankful and grateful every single day that I get to wake up and really see that 300 plus of Chino's team is really here, really grinding, and every single day that you guys are winning on your trades. So every single day, I'm so thankful. I appreciate. I thank God that I'm alive, because every single day I live life to my oh wells instead of my what ifs. So another thing is, you don't let your outer environment control how you feel and think. We can't let whatever is happening outside, or you can't let a losing trade really control how you think and feel. You can't let bad news really control how you think and feel, because that doesn't define you, and that doesn't define of who you are. Whatever is happening does not define who you are, unless you're on your higher being, you're on your higher frequency, and that's what defines you. So these things that are literally giving you doubt, fear, worry, frustration, all that kind of stuff, you guys have to really just sit down, vent it out for 5 seconds, whatever, so, and really say these 3 things. Can't change it. Can't change it. You can't change what just happened. You can't change whatever negative thought you just had, so you can't change it. So just be thankful, be grateful every single day, every single time you have a negative or negative thought or a problem in here, because that is just taking you one step closer to your success. Those small problems, those negative thoughts are just stepping stones to your success. So that is why you don't think of it as a negative thought. You should think of it, oh, I'm thinking of it this way, let me shift that real quick. You have to acknowledge the fact that you're having these negative thoughts. So what do you have to do? Focus on something else. So don't be the victim of your life. You're the creator of your life. Don't be the victim of really just having these negative thoughts, of really just thinking, oh, this is it just for me. Don't think that, this life is really just meant to just live it this way. No, you create your own life. You are a 6-figure trader. You are a millionaire. Everyone here is a millionaire. You're either a millionaire by having a lot of money, or you're either a millionaire by having a million excuses. So pick one. Pick what kind of millionaire you want to be, because having that millionaire success will definitely take a lot out of you. But at the same time, if you do the hard things now, the easy things will be done later on. Your life will be so much easier later on, and that's how you want to live life. Do the hard things now, because these 3, 4, 5 years that you're really struggling, that you're having problems, that you're having negative thoughts, will definitely help you out in the next 5 years or so. Because after those 5 years, you'll be paying off your parents' mortgage. You'll be chilling on the beach. You'll be traveling wherever you want. Don't you guys want that? So these negative things, these negative thoughts cannot define who you are, cannot define what's going on in your journey, and definitely cannot define what type of situation you're in right now. So it's really up to you. Either be a millionaire of like having that success, or a millionaire that has a million excuses. You choose your destiny. So we have to acknowledge when that addiction rears into your head again. You guys don't think negative thinking is an addiction? Smoking is an addiction, alcohol, drinking alcohol, all that kind of stuff. But you guys don't think having those negative thoughts are an addiction? Like I said before, where your attention is, your energy is. If you're thinking every single time that I can't do this, trust me, words are very important. You can't do this. If you're thinking every single time, if you're so addicted to thinking, oh, this is where life is gonna just be, and I can't be those people that like Matt Rosa or Bryce Thompson, then that's how your life is gonna be. You're addicted to literally just having that failure instead of having that success. So having that negative thought, trust me guys, it's a very bad addiction, and that's where we have to shift our mindset. What Kim Tora said and what my girl Dania told me today is every single day you need 2 mindset sessions and 1 trading sessions to become a person of value and to become a leader that you want to become someone that can lead 500 people. You have to have 2 sessions of literally mindset or personal development every single day and less trading. Guys, trading will always be there. You gotta be patient when it comes to the markets. That's why you're losing trades. You're just plugging in trades all the time, and you're not waiting for the perfect setup. Guys, 80% of the time is trading, guys. 80% of the time is patience when it comes to trading. So you gotta just wait for a perfect setup, wait for the market to come to you. And at that point, those negative things, those negative thoughts will immediately become positive because it's happening for you. As you focus on that positive thing, your attention will shift, your energy will shift, and everything that you want will start coming to you, will start manifesting into your life. So you got to change your brain and body to live in the future reality so you can feel connected to the future instead of the past. You have to change your brain and body to live in that future reality so you feel connected to the future instead of the past. We have to stop thinking of what's happening in the past. Stop thinking of what your family's talking about it. Stop thinking that what your friends are thinking about, because the people that we love the most are the people that, for some reason, the friends and the family that we love the most, that love us the most, are the people that are doubting us the most. The people that are literally, they're the ones that don't see the vision in us. But yet, majority of you guys in this call were strangers to me a year ago, 6 months ago. But you guys see more success in me than my friends and family do. I love them to death, but they see me for who I was and who I am right now. But you guys see me for who I'm going to become. So really think about that. Really shift that. And it's okay to see that perspective. It's okay, because at the end of the day, you know who you're gonna be, and you know where you're gonna go. So it's okay. So every single time we visualize, every single time we see that dream house, every single time you see your dream family, every single time you see your whole team winning, I honestly want to see every single time, every single day, I see my leaders reaching their goals. Chairman 10, Chairman 500, Chairman 25 for Chino, Chairman 50 for everyone that's in this call, and really just everyone really being so happy to a point where that negative addiction stops. And every single day you live like Chino. He's very humble, and he just lives as if he's doing everything he can, not doubting himself whatsoever. And he just lives for the past 4 years now. He's been living like that, and look what's happening with his team. Everything that's coming into his organization is because he's just living life to the fullest and literally having that positive mindset. He does not have those negative thoughts or anything. That's whatever's happening into his business is literally just because he's been working his butt off and really just thinking and visualizing and manifesting whatever is coming into his organization. So nobody changes until they change their energy. So when you change your energy, that's when your life changes. Nobody changes until they change their energy. You guys don't change, or you don't see nothing that's changing in your business because your energy is not changing. You're still addicted to that negative thought. We have to stop preaching that we're good every single time, because I know we're not good. We're all human here. We all have that negative thought, but it's on you to really decide whether that thought defines you or dictates you, or you really decide whether it's really going to take you to that place that you want to go. You got to shift that negative thinking. You got to shift what's happening, acknowledge that thought, and really shift it to an energy that you're focused, laser focused, you're doing everything for your team, all that kind of stuff, really studying trading, or just being who you are to live a happy life. Once your energy changes, your life changes. And that's when you'll see the whole vision in your head. So that's why I totally agree when Johnny was saying to meditate. Once you guys meditate, once you guys put yourself in that state of being, and I know not a lot of people here meditate, highly suggest to try it out. If you guys don't know how to, search it up, use a guided meditation or anything like that. But once you put yourself on that state of being and really just plan out or really just see your vision, that's where all your negative thoughts really drift away. Because as you keep doing that, all those negative thoughts, all those people that are hating, all those people that don't see the vision in you will start drifting away, and you'll manifest and literally have life come to you. Have those people that are hungry for success. Have those people that are literally waiting for you to win, that can't wait to see you win. Because like Austin Gatti said, those people that are hating on you right now, that are causing your negative thoughts, once you hit chairman, your phone's going to start ringing with those people. Isn't that weird? Once success happens, those negative people are going to start calling you because you reached it. Congratulations, this, and that. What do you tell them? Thanks, it's because of you that made this happen. Once your perception changes, once you acknowledge that negative thought, that's when life will literally happen for you. I mean, to you. Life doesn't happen for you, it happens to you. You create your own reality. We are not a victim of our life. So whatever that's happening in the past, you let it go, and you let God do all the work. You manifest everything that's happening to you, and you literally just acknowledge and be aware and just be laser focused on what you're doing to create what's happening in your life. Yes, life happens for you, not to. Yes, thank you, Johnny. But other than that, guys, really want to open up the mic, drop some fires. If you guys have got some value in this call, sheesh. Guys, I'm telling you right now that I only had a few notes. I think that was unconscious competence right there. But you guys can definitely open up your mic, say a few things, say something that you learned, say something that you're grateful for, anything like that. But yeah, I'll pass it back on to Johnny if he has something to say. But other than that, love you all. I would love for anyone to open up the mic.
Let's get it, guys.